Hi, welcome back to World of the Psychic.
Together we shall cast ourselves into the future.
Seen any aliens lately?
This is a part of America we never get to see.
Are you by chance referring to the legend of the Loch Ness Monster?
A ball of twine that weighs 19,000 pounds.
What is this, nerd porn?
It is about the Templar treasure, but it's also about other things, conspiracy theories, urban legends, and other myths that are true.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the
Travel Oddities Podcast.
And welcome to the Travel Oddities Podcast. It's me, Brett.
And I'm still Harley.
Yep, you are still Harley. Can I just say something? You've gotten, like, Mr. Professional.
I'm sorry?
We're not allowed to talk about, we're going through the show, kind of doing a little bit of pregame warm-up. And you flat out refused to, like, engage in conversation prior to this.
You mean I didn't want...
You didn't want to get into any of the canon about the show.
You mean I didn't want to get into episode 20, Forepaugh Restaurant in St. Paul, Minnesota?
What episode is this?
Episode 20.
Is it episode 20? God.
0.
Okay, I want to start off. I want to do something a little bit different.
Okay.
I went blank.
That's great.
It's a big week this week.
I did not know it was a big week. Why is it a big week?
In pop culture.
In pop culture. Did Michael Jackson come back from the grave?
No, but two of the biggest heroes in the universe of heroes collide this weekend.
Odin and Ra.
Wrong. Your attempt to be nerdy fail. No. Dude, it's freaking Batman versus Superman this weekend.
Are you going?
I'm going to do my damnedest to go this weekend.
Right.
But if you go, you've got to, it costs you $1,000 just to go to the movies before, concessions because there's 13 of you.
Hey, you're funny.
No, I wanted to, real quick, I want to start off by saying we are not on the road. We are we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to start dropping these on Monday. For people out there, there have been some, I say concerns. I will say concern has been shown that since we've been kind of lax on our Sunday release dates. Now that we're dropping them on Monday, we just want to make sure people understand that it's not for the lack of effort.
That's a thing now. We're dropping them on Monday because that's what happened.
And you're literally, whereas if I say it's partly cloudy outside, it's literally partly cloudy. I mean, this is hot off the presses. Am I wrong? I mean, they're getting...
No, you're not wrong.
This is raw audio. This isn't, hey, it's Thanksgiving, and you get it on Sunday, and we're like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. No, this is, if it happens on a Monday, if we break some ground on Monday, you're gonna know it. Granted, it might be a couple hours from now. What time is it now here?
Dude, that's not important. Why?
It's 8:15 here right now. On a Monday night.
All right.
You don't think it's important to tell people that?
No, I don't think it's important for them to know the time.
Well, do you think it's important that they know that they're getting a fresh product?
No, because what if they download it on Friday?
Then they're stooges. We do have one guy, our big mother trucker, Anthony the trucker, who has been blowing the Facebook page up, wondering where this podcast is at.
Yes.
And we have done nothing to soothe his concerns or his worry pains about whether or not we're going to post today.
Just rub some tussin on it. You'll be all right.
Rub some tussin on it. Tussin works on everything. So our show tonight, yes, you mentioned, is about a really cool restaurant in Minnesota that I'm excited about talking about.
It's haunted.
Because it kind of it weaves the two things we like to talk about most, weird stuff and food, together, but we're not really going to talk about the food side of it, really, I don't think.
A little bit.
Maybe a little. Because it's a little bit more upscale than what we're used to.
Yeah. We're burgers out of a bag.
It's a bag. Yeah, give us your bag of burgers and your quesadilla.
I don't know what I would do with actual silverware.
So I have a kind of an oddity to tell you about that happened to me over the weekend.
Let's hear it.
So we go to a local pet store, PetSmart.
Oh.
I'll say it. Local pet store. I'd like to look at the cats because they have a little adoption thing where you can, and it's like this separate little area when you walk into.
Well, hold on. Are
Okay.
you looking at the cats as like dog food for your dogs?
No. No, I look at the cats for bait cats for my pit bulls.
Okay.
Because I fight pit bulls. Anyways, so I go in there and there's
you don't fight pit bulls. Can we please clarify that?
I don't fight pit bulls.
Thank you.
If you want to call it fight. Anyway, so you go into this little area and there's these cages and you can kind of pet the cats with your fingers, and if they're interested, they'll come up to you. You know how cats are. They kind of do what they want. And there was a cage on the bottom where there were 3 cats, which I'm assuming were all together. And as I move farther into the store, you'll understand why I'm assuming they were all together. So there was a female cat. She was the mom. I'm guessing. And again, as I get further into the store, you'll understand why I think it was the mom. She was 1. The other 2 cats were about 8 months old. So one of the cats was just kind of laying there at the end, just kind of being lazy like cats do. And the other one was nursing. It's an 8-month-old cat. It's not a baby fuzzball thing. It's like this long cat just laying there sucking on its mother's teat. It's 8 months old. It was the creepiest. It was like watching I don't know, it was like some type of a parasite attached to its host. It was weird. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I've never seen an adult.
Okay,
nursing.
Puppies humping full-grown dogs. Yes, I've seen it. But it's air humping essentially. There's not much in the way of it's not even a square peg in a round hole scenario. It's just kind of an act. But this cat was actively nursing.
And now you're having nightmares about it?
I've thought about it all weekend. So, yeah. I mean, I've literally thought about it all weekend. But anyway.
That's awesome.
So, how about you? I mean, did you have a good weekend? I mean,
I built stuff.
Okay, so, again, I wasn't feeling well. We were supposed to go to the ghost hunt. I was not feeling well. I wasn't. I'd had a long week. Pardon me. I had a long week last week.
We had a scheduled event. We were going to go to the Ghost Walk in Norman, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was accused of being a flake.
Brett flaked out, but it was literally 12 degrees, and the wind was blowing about 150 miles an hour, so we give him a pass.
You give me a pass.
We give you a pass.
Now, let's talk about climate change.
All right, let's talk about climate change.
I'm kidding. Well, I mean, it's unseasonably cool in March. Would you agree?
There was a couple of days of cold, but it's nice now.
So, real quick, I want to wrap up here, but rule of thumb, never use Facebook or a former – you're familiar with the former meteorologist for Channel 5, Aaron Tuttle. I'm sure you've heard the name.
Yeah.
Well, he does freelance weather stuff on his Facebook and shows off his 6-pack abs like every other. Anyway, he said there was going to be 15 inches of snow this week.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I said that on my radio, my little radio show Saturday, that there was supposed to be 15 inches of snow. And on the day that it's supposed to happen, it's going to be like 80 degrees. So, rule of thumb, unless they're a working meteorologist that doesn't spray tan, I'm not going to buy anything they say anymore. I mean, it's just the bottom line. So, anyway, There you go. Don't get your weather off of Facebook.
You think this spray tan addled his brain?
He's kind of a tool. I mean, the guy is kind of a D-bag a little bit.
Hey, if you listen to the show, he's kidding. If you don't, you're a D-bag.
Pretty much. Is that we're going to name our listeners as D-bags?
No.
Oh, wait. No, the opposite. If you don't listen, you're a D-bag.
Right.
Okay. So, anyway, moving on. Do I get to choose a news story again this week?
We're not there.
We're not there yet? No.
There's been no news
mention of
intro at all. You're jumping
I'm just going to jump. I'm sorry. So, hey, how about the news?
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
News.
This just in, Brett's an asshole for stepping on my news clip.
I'm sorry, man.
So we got a couple options for news.
Okay.
First one. Why are you making that face?
Go ahead.
Is Donald Trump secretly trying to get Hillary Clinton elected?
If I didn't think my selection process was already rigged, I would choose that one, but go ahead.
Second one, human skull found near the Hollywood sign, and it's in an area ripe with ghost hunting legends.
Cool. Since we're kind of on the paranormal track tonight.
From our normal shows where we do political commentary?
Yeah, where we do political commentary. Let's steer clear of the Trump stuff.
It's a legitimate conspiracy.
It is.
Which falls directly within the realm of travel oddities.
It does.
It's part of our empire. If it's a conspiracy,
then we have to delve
just
into
because it wasn't the JFK assassination doesn't mean it's not a true conspiracy.
Well, maybe we can dig a little deeper into that as we get closer to the nominations.
You're still nixing the Trump story.
I'm still nixing. Let's go with the skull at the Hollywood sign.
All right, from the Examiner.
Okay, which is a fairly reputable. It's no L.A. Confidential, but go ahead.
Hey,
or L.A. Times. Go ahead.
March 20th, which was yesterday.
Hey.
A human skull found near the iconic Hollywood sign.
Another timestamp, though, folks, just to show you how fresh the show is. Go ahead.
Live.
Virtually live.
Virtually live.
Go ahead.
A human skull found near the iconic Hollywood sign adds more darkness to the area, which is a favorite for ghost hunters looking for the ghost of a woman who is said to be haunting the hills.
Now, do we know if it's a female skull?
We do not know that yet.
Okay.
So hikers found the skull in Griffith Park. It's considered the largest municipal park in the nation, spans 6.5 miles in the eastern part of Santa Monica mountain range. It appears to belong to someone who's been dead for several years, but is the only body part found so far.
Well, I'm sure like coyotes and, critters have dragged off.
If it's been a couple of years, yeah, it sounds like food.
Yeah.
But it's still a park. And although it's a huge park, I just can't think of very, very many parks. Unless you're talking like the Grand Canyon or Yosemite or something like that, where you could lose a person.
Right.
It's
mostly walking trails though in that area, though,
right?
Isn't it?
It's foothills.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine, especially from our area, a body being in a park for years before anybody stumbled across it.
Here, even as recently as like a year ago, they pulled like cars that had been crashed since like the 1970s and solved like missing persons cases, two of them within like a 20-minute time period just from those two wrecks that were recovered. So, I don't know how big, how many square miles this, but that's weird to me. It seems like there might be a little bit of some foul play there.
They said the area was closed off to search the location, but they hadn't turned anything else up. And they've continued their search today with cadaver dogs looking for More bones in the area, according to MSN News.
That made me think of that abracadabra. Abracadabra. The Steve Miller song, Abracadabra?
Yes. Not abracadabra.
Sorry.
Interestingly, though, 3 years ago, about the same time we were on our trip to the Grand Canyon. Thanks, Facebook, for the update.
Before gay marriage was legal.
Right. 3 years ago, they found a decapitated head and several other body parts strewn around the same area. So, body dump, maybe? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Well, yeah. I mean, let's be realistic here. If the remains are old enough, mob dump bodies all the time. So,
yeah, but I would think that if you're dumping a body for the mob, you're not going to put it in a public park. 6-7 inches of concrete.
Yeah,
Make sure nobody stumbles across it anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm going to bury a body, I'm not going to.
If I'm going to be burying a body, if I'm going to be burying a body, it's probably going to be because of something that you did.
There is no such, but with that in mind, there is no such thing as the perfect crime. You will be caught.
You really believe that?
Yes. That there's no such thing as the perfect crime?
I'm not saying there's no such thing as the perfect crime. I'm saying if you commit a crime, you will be caught. You believe that?
Inevitably. In this day and age.
No, you're wrong.
No, with the technology, the forensics, why do you think it's taken 30, guys have been sitting in prison for 30 years, waiting to be exonerated, and then all of a sudden, after, they're beyond being able to get hired, they can't get a job, they don't get any, they get exonerated from prison because science is just better now.
Okay, so with that point in mind,
sure.
What about the guy that actually committed the crime that's been running around scot-free for the last 30 years? Because your guy's in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Now, more importantly,
right.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
How many banks get robbed in a year? Do you know? Do you know why you don't know right offhand?
Do you know?
Yes, I do know.
How many?
The FBI does not release that information.
He's such a nerd.
Because they don't want to encourage bank robbery. Because
I love the way that you say shit. You're like, and the cat went meow, and dogs go ruff, 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 FBI.
The FBI doesn't want you to know how many robberies there are in a year.
He could.
They also don't want you to know the incarceration rate or the capture rate on bank robbers because the numbers are encouraging for bank robbers.
Can I get your voice on the GPS? Turn left now. No. So anyway, there's no such thing as the perfect crime.
You're wrong.
Dude, there's not. Give me an example of a perfect crime.
Who killed JFK?
That's not a perfect crime.
Is the guy caught? If you didn't get caught, it's a perfect crime.
They assume they had the guy. A perfect crime is not having anyone in custody.
Brett,
in my opinion,
how many laws do you break on a daily basis?
I don't break any.
Wrong.
Oh, like what? No.
How many laws are in existence right now for you?
Okay, how many of them are stupid?
Doesn't matter.
Like you can't brush a horse within 100 feet of a gas station. There are look it up.
I know
Oklahoma's got some laws that are like you can't help but break them because they're just that dumb.
I don't remember the statistic, but Congress passes some ungodly amount, tens of thousands of laws every year. and a lot of them are directly contradict each other. So the average person, I think, commits 7 crimes a day unknowingly. 7 a day. How many times have you been put in prison, Brett?
I've never been put in prison for peeing in the backyard.
Okay.
Now, the saddest part is if I pee in my own backyard and somebody sees me and calls the cops, I'm a sex offender?
Yes.
Why? But here's the thing: if I'm a hot guy and it's some hot chick, she's not going to care. She's like, "Ooh, my neighbor." But because I look like a freaking hedgehog, because I look like somebody that.
Yes, I would like to report a giant hedgehog urinating in my neighbor's yard.
Would you agree that looks have a lot to do with how far you get in life?
Yes, I would agree.
Okay. Did you ever see the Saturday Night Live skit where Tom Brady came into the office wearing nothing but his underwear, and the other guy comes up to the same girl and he's like, hey, do you want? The ugly guy goes to the girl, played by Fred Armisen, and says, hey, would you like to go to lunch? She's like, get away from me, you pervert. And then Tom Brady comes up, and nothing but like a nice shirt and tie and his underwear. And he's like, hey, would you like to go to lunch? She's like, oh, yeah.
All right.
Hot people can break the law.
So, again, you completely destroying your own argument.
I guess I am.
I'm sorry, Brett. I know how much you like watching movies and television, but it's not like that.
Dude, I didn't...
I'm sorry, there's not a guy sitting at a laptop, clacking away, enhance.
and you're like, boop, 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 like doing like the Tony Stark.
Right, he's not taking the reflection of a satellite image off the bumper of a passing Cadillac to get you the...
I'm not saying I thought War Games was real when the computer said, would you like to play a game? Was that the movie?
What kind of computer was that? It sounded...
What was the... Would you like to play a game? What movie was it where it said that? Would you like to play a game? Was it War Games?
It was War Games, yes.
War Games.
99.7% sure.
So, okay, I'm not saying
and I'm pretty
making
sure
it sound
was,
like I think the Avengers...
Shall we play a game?
Yeah, shall we play a game? Wait, I'm getting Saw and War Games. Would you like to play a game? That's Saw.
The shall we play a game?
Shall we play a game? I'm not saying I think the Avengers are real. Although I wouldn't mind having Tony Stark's suit if it came in a plus size. But
Hedgehog edition.
It's like iron like just like iron mush. I don't know. Or instead of Thor, just be like thud. Captain Spam Erica.
All right, so...
Or instead of Hawkeye, it'd be Ribeye.
The end of my news story...
You didn't even think the Ribeye one was funny?
Dude, they're all funny.
Ribeye?
It's taken me 27 minutes to tell the story.
Bulk. The Incredible Bulk.
Yes. You're portly.
What's the other one? Black Widow would be black. What would it? I don't know. Just call me dark chocolate. Portly, stop. Jeez. That's why we sit in here, not out there. So anyway,
I'm just saying you look like a potato with a beard.
I do. You're right. I need to get back on the kombucha tea.
Is it kombucha or is it kombucha? And
kombucha.
Does it fall into the travel oddities realm?
It does.
I think it's mildly magical.
It is mildly magical. I mean, it does things to your intestines.
All right.
Anyway.
So back to our news story.
Back to our news story.
There have been a whole lot of people killed in and around the Hollywood sign and the ghost Hunter International or Ghost Hunter, whatever, Ghost Facers, or whatever the hell they're called. They've all done a show about the Hollywood sign.
That, and I'm going to be Iron Mush.
Iron Mush.
Iron mashed potatoes.
So that's the news.
That's the news. So tonight, a very interesting story out. Is it Minneapolis?
Yes, it is.
Yes, Minneapolis.
Nope, St. Paul.
Oh, St. Paul, Minnesota. Sorry. The Forepaugh Restaurant
and
mansion.
The whole time I was reading, doing all of my reading on it, I thought, it's faux pas.
Faux pas.
It's not. Everybody pronounces it forepaws.
How do you look at it? I'm sorry, I love you to death, but where do you get faux pas out of Fore?
I just assumed that it was faux pas,
or
like
maybe
they had,
or subconsciously you're already discrediting the story.
No, not at all. I just thought that's what it was, but everybody pronounces it Forepaugh Restaurant.
I would be considered a faux pas.
You got to stop tonight.
I know it. I'm not a faux pas.
Okay, so Forepaugh Restaurant, gorgeous, multifunctional, state-of-the-art venue located in a historic Victorian mansion. It's got artfully decorated dining rooms. It's got period decor, cutting-edge American cuisine, and apparently it is haunted as hell.
And you can also get quinoa Greek yogurt.
Do what?
They have quinoa Greek yogurt. You ever had quinoa?
Okay, so we're just gonna touch this right now. Touch on this right now. We will be talking a little bit about the menu of Forepaugh, but I think we're both in agreement that it's not necessarily our cup of tea.
No pun?
No pun. I think it's hoity-toity rich folks stuff.
Well, they have, for the beef Wellington, a filet mignon with mushrooms, Swiss char, pastry lattice, bordelaise, mushrooms, fingerling potatoes, tomato raisins, thyme, and oil with herbs.
I'm sorry, if I'm going to have a steak, I don't want a pastry lattice.
Man, I'll be like, can I get a burger and fries? I'm sorry, sir. The burger is seasonal, and it's braised rabbit ass.
So, Forepaugh is at 276 Exchange Street in South St. Paul.
Of course.
And they do have Hen of the Woods mushroom and dill cauliflower soup.
Coconut curry would be good, though, with seasonal potatoes, zucchini hearts of palm, Chinese long beans, shiitake mushrooms, Thai herbs, and seasonal chilies.
No. Okay. So the manor was once a private home to a wealthy businessman, Joseph Forepaugh, and his family. Mm-hmm. And in 1958, Joseph Forepaugh arrived to St. Paul on a riverboat after an apprenticeship at a dry goods company in Philadelphia. Now, Forepaugh started his own dry goods store, which later grew into a ginormous dry goods store that pretty much dominated the upper Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
In 1870, Joseph built a $10,000 Victorian mansion with a basement, 3 floors, and beautifully landscaped grounds and gardens for his family.
$10,000
in 1870.
So, what that would be probably today? What, 100,000, 200,000?
Oh, good Lord, no. No, you're
20,000,
multi-million-dollar estate.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it would be a multi-million-dollar estate.
Why are you always just trying to be smarter than I am?
I'm not. We can consult Google if you want to know the exact translation from $1870 to $2016.
Anthony, Harley's being mean to me. Harley, quit doing it.
Quit doing what?
Your forehead. Quit making your forehead pulsate. I can see your heartbeat in your forehead right now.
I hate your guts.
So $10,000. That's these many dollars.
A lot.
Lots of dollars.
Okay, so Joseph.
Yeah.
And his maid Molly.
Of course. I know where this is going.
Of course you know where this is going because you and I researched it thoroughly.
I know exactly what happens here. Joseph and Molly loved each other very much. And when people love each other very much, they have coitus.
Joseph and Molly both died in the home and are said to haunt the premises.
Why are you avoiding it? Why are you avoiding the subject, something that we experience as an adult?
I'm not. I'm tell you what, though, we do have a news clip from a local news show.
Sure.
I'd like to play it.
Sure.
All right, there's a St. Paul restaurant that's getting some attention for more than just its good food, but it does have outstanding food. The rumor is it could be haunted.
Ooh, we wanted to know for sure. So we sent Emily Engberg along with our resident psychic, Jody Laban, to find out if the rumors are true. Ooh.
We're at Forepaugh, and this is one of my favorite restaurants. The food is amazing. The atmosphere is so beautiful. But guess what? There's a bit of a rumor that there might be some spirits or ghosts in the area.
All right. I played it.
Left me wanting.
I played it because actually it was 30 minutes long. I didn't want to play the whole thing, but I did want to play it because, for starters, the male co-host said, ooh, more than once. But secondly, they do a horrible job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's in your neighborhood. It's in your area of coverage. And you have to take a psychic with you and then, hey, give us the background of the place.
Tell me more.
Give us the backstory. Tell us about the restaurant.
Tell me what Joseph and Molly supposedly had coitus. I want to know the exact location where he used to lay the slab down every night.
All right, we'll get into that then. So, legend has it.
Of course. Stop. We can't even avoid the pitfalls, the cliches.
No.
Once upon a midnight dreary. Well, come on. Legend has it.
Legend has it.
God.
That Molly and Joseph were having a torrid affair. He was laying the slab down in all 4 floors of this mansion on the regular.
Every square inch of that mother, you know what? He was getting torrid up in that.
So,
define torrid. Give me a G version of torrid.
Nasty.
Nasty, dirty.
So, riddled with guilt.
That's not all he was riddled with.
And gonorrhea. Joseph shot himself in the head.
Dude, here's the thing. We've all made mistakes. There is not one piece of that I would shoot myself in the head over guilt. I mean, I understand back then they didn't have Dr. Phil, or they didn't have, Dr. whoever, or Kobe Bryant got his girlfriend a pink diamond. How guilty did he feel?
I don't think that he was planning on buying that anyway.
Magic Johnson was slinging the magic stick for like 30 years. Now, what he paid for with his guilt was a curable version of HIV. But shooting yourself in the head, that's a bit extreme.
Okay.
Life's not that bad.
Well, in 1870, life was that bad. I'm sorry. You can look back in any part of history that you want and say, oh, I would have preferred to live then. You wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It stank.
Well, the
people
life
were gross. Soap didn't exist yet. Well, the good kind.
Not to mention, if you were a child, you were lucky to live. If you're a male above the age of 40, your life expectancy was very, very, very short. If you're a woman, you got TB, it was just all kinds of. But suicide's not the answer, even in 1870.
So Joseph shot himself in the head. A heartbroken Molly hanged herself days later in the third-floor dining room.
Okay.
That is one explanation. There is another explanation that Molly got pregnant and Joseph made her move away, or he moved away, depending on which version you look at. And Molly ended up killing herself before she had the baby. And then Joseph killed himself when he moved back 3 years later.
Where is the wife in all of this?
Well, obviously she wasn't getting the job done, so I don't know where she was.
Clearly. Clearly. She was making Master Joseph wait to get his goodies. So the maid, Molly, of course her name was Molly. Named after ecstasy, I bet.
Okay, so apparently there have been numerous sightings of what people feel are both Molly's and Joseph's ghosts in the building.
Legend has it.
Legend has it. Joseph's ghost strolls the grounds.
Like a pimp.
He's described as wearing a black waistcoat, silk vest, derby hat, and pinstripe trousers. And he is seen rushing up and down the mansion's main staircase.
Cool. I mean, dude, you own the joint. You was making all kinds of love up in this restaurant.
Actually, I think that is quoted somewhere coming up, by the way, that he owns the place.
In that he, you can hear disconnected voices going, oh, 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 oh. That's a gun.
Molly's ghost is apparently a real bitch.
A bitch.
Terrifies guests, pounds on walls, explodes glasses. She's also considered to be a prankster.
I ain't got no time for no prankster wank. Prankster skankster. Ghost skank.
So apparently the house became a boarding house.
Mm-hmm.
And was a boarding house until the St. Paul Housing and Redevelopment Authority shut it down in 1973.
1973.
Right. So basically 103 years after it was built.
First of all, why am I using a southern accent when I should be saying, they shut it down in 1973, eh? That's when the old St. Paul and the Historical Society told them they needed to, fix her up and take a little time with it,
Actually, the National Historic Registry saved it from being destroyed. They were going to tear it down.
They were, yeah.
I ate your guts.
I remember they stepped in and told them, you gotta put a little money in it. They were buying houses for about $1, up there in St. Paul. As a real estate agent up there around 1973, and I almost bought it,
All right. Okay, so some of the sightings reported.
Yeah.
Please stop with that voice. You're driving me batshit crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so Joseph's entity in solid form has been seen by customers and staff as he walks through the dining rooms dressed in 1890s dress-up clothes, looking pleased, having an attitude that displayed that he owns the place.
Now, That's a little too descript for like a puff of smoke floating through the dining room. Like being in a solid state?
Right.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
A full torso apparition, and it's real.
So what do we do?
We've got to make contact. One of us should actually try to speak to it.
Good idea. Hello. All right. Okay. The usual stuff isn't working.
I don't know, man. I think it's a cool, I always say it. This is where I get to, I always say this. I don't know, man. I think it's a cool idea.
Okay, so in the basement, lights turn on and off by themselves, and the living, air quotes, feel cold chills and hear strange noises.
See, that's my kind of restaurant. But I don't want to get dressed up to get scared. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind going there like after dark on like a ghost hunting team. Why do you have your head on the microphone?
Ghost hunting team, dude. How often do we have to make fun of those jackasses?
Come on, man. Did you hear that? Yeah, I heard it. What'd you hear? The same thing you heard. What was that? A sound. Me too. It's like, come on.
You got to get confrontational with it.
Come on. Show us, prove to us that you're here. And then it's like, well, maybe they're not in the mood tonight. Come on. They're in the mood every night. God. Here's the problem. And I'm going to say it right now. And I'm probably not offending anyone out there. What has kind of desensitized me to ghosts
are the ghost hunter shows.
Are the ghost hunter shows, period, bottom line. Because you remember there was a time where it was like you only got that kind of stuff like once a year, and it was right around Halloween. It wasn't, you weren't like, there wasn't like, it's not a 24-hour news cycle with this stuff, but it's just in any given, I can guarantee if I had 600 channels, I could find 20 of them right now that have a ghost on them.
Right, but that's the issue is not the inundation of people retelling the same stories.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is the dramatization of the stories, where every time the ghost hunters are, I'm at a loss for some of the names of these groups.
Ghost hunters, ghost adventures.
The problem with these shows, they have to have a jump scare.
Yes.
Between every commercial break.
Or the cameraman's got to like be possessed for like 5 seconds because he felt like a spirit moved through him.
Right. There has to be, oh my God, and then we go to commercial and we come back and it's like, oh man, I got a hangnail. Oh my God, that hurt.
Or here's the thing. Invest in a Steadicam, because every time they get scared and you want to, because I get suckered into going like transfixing on the screen, the window they have, and it's like, oh, and then the camera goes nuts. Or what you don't know is the batteries went dead shortly after. It's like, come on. The footage we had isn't there anymore because we don't know why. I mean, stop it. Stop doing this.
Okay, so back to Molly and Joseph.
Molly and Joseph. Molly, Fovali, Banana, Fana, Bobali, Ghosts of Joe and Molly.
Okay, Molly has been seen and heard near the area where she killed herself. Why are you laughing about this?
Suicide's not funny. Not even in 1870. Continue.
All lives matter.
All lives matter. Even
during a reception where all the waitresses were dressed in 19th century dresses, a woman also dressed in a 19th century dress, but unlike the other employees, was seen gliding down the hall by the staff before she melted into a wall.
Cool.
If I saw the ghost melt into a wall, I would piss myself.
I would melt into my pants.
And run away.
Did it leave like the slime on the wall, like when Slimer went through the wall on Ghostbusters?
I would hope so.
It's the ectoplasm. Ectoplasmic discharge. An ectoplasmic discharge.
You just like saying the word discharge.
Speaking of discharge, Joseph has been heard making sounds from the bathroom like it burns when it pees. Oh, Lordy.
Okay, that's
gosh.
Okay, so apparently Molly occasionally talks to guests of the restaurant.
I believe it.
And the restaurant frequently hosts wedding parties, and apparently she is very fond of talking to the new brides.
She also left a review on Yelp.
Did she?
Yeah, it just said boo. Sorry.
Okay, so there was an episode that the police were involved.
Okay.
Did we need to take a laugh break?
No, we don't. Go ahead.
Okay, so employees opening up the restaurant heard distinct tromping on the third floor. The police were called. They brought a canine dog to investigate. The dog refused to go up to the third floor.
Cool.
The cops went upstairs, and they found nobody upstairs.
How come nobody went up there initially?
I don't know.
Did it say what time of the day it was?
Well, it was in the morning they were opening.
That's about when I like to tromp around.
Okay.
Are you going to delete all this? We're starting to get more dead air at the end, and it's you like in this like.
I'm not deleting anything. Okay, so apparently the restaurant has a wedding picture that's hanging up that has Molly's image captured in it.
Really?
Really.
Do we have pictures of that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Will it be in the show notes?
Yes, it will be in the show notes.
Cool.
The staff of the restaurant and diners have observed the ghost of Joseph and his mistress wandering through the dining rooms, as well as a fleeting scent of lavender at times.
Lavender makes me tired. Did you know that?
Lavender makes everybody tired.
Why would they want it to smell like lavender?
I don't know. Maybe they had lavender lube back in 1870.
Darling, go get me the lavender grease balm.
Lavender grease balm?
Go get me that booty balm, honey. Wait, they probably didn't talk like that, did they?
No, they probably didn't. So the staff as well as customers have seen tables and chairs in the dining room move, and the staff has found the furniture rearranged on occasion. I'm guessing that's probably just one of the other staff members.
Are you saying it's not real?
I would move the furniture around. If I worked in this place...
Oh, yeah, they would. It'd be pranks galore.
All the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Unless I saw somebody melt into a wall, and then I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the gist
of the Forepaugh. The Forepaugh Mansion.
Forepaugh's Restaurant.
Forepaugh's Mansion Restaurant.
Be warned. It is my job to arm you against the foulest creatures known to wizard kind. You may find yourselves facing your worst fears in this room. Know only that no harm can befall you whilst I am here. I must ask you not to scream.
So,
defense against the dark arts.
What is your what is it? The that ghost shooter?
Yeah, no. Not readily available.
Okay.
We can discuss some of the things, though, some of the ways that you can dispatch with a ghost.
Okay.
You can go the straight-up exorcism route.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the Forepaugh Restaurant and you get 40% of your business from ghost hunters, I'm going to say you probably don't want to do that.
Right. I wouldn't.
But if Molly gets bajiggity, you can use salt.
Hell hath no fury than that of a woman scorned.
Well, you're in a restaurant, so there should be salt readily available.
Yes, just salt.
Throw some at her.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that ghosts don't like that.
No, they don't. It's salt in the wound.
Cold iron. So anything basically made out of metal, steel, should be a pretty good defense. So if you go to Forepaugh, I say do a salt circle around the table that you're sitting at.
Mm-hmm. Or get extra sea salt on your fries.
Extra sea salt on your fries? But I don't think they have fries.
Kosher salt.
Prayers.
Smudging. The Native American smudging with sage.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We could do that.
We could do that.
What else you got? What other ways to get rid of ghostesses?
You ask them politely to leave you alone so you can eat dinner.
I'm going to say probably not be a douchebag and be all confrontational.
Right. Don't be like, come at me, bro.
What are you going to do?
Come on, Joey.
Are you afraid to show yourself?
Yeah, Molly uses... I was going to say something, but I can't. Molly really wasn't even that good at stuff. Joey. You should see what me and Molly did in the kitchen. I made her melt into the wall. Joey.
All right. So the town of St. Paul, Minnesota, it's huge. Literally anything you want to do, you can find something to do there. Massive place. We don't need to worry about the details.
Right.
But if you're in St. Paul and you want to see...
There's a lot of duel up there. I mean, if you go over to Monowatoc...
Monowatoc?
You can find a murderer. Oh, Steve Avery.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're going to go with Fargo on this one?
Yeah. You can catch you a murderer. Oh, yeah. I think he did it. Say yeah. He'd say yeah, Harley.
You're giving me an aneurysm, bro.
Man. So I'm not going to say, well, I'll tell you off the air, but I think I already figured out what song we need to use for the outro.
All right.
And it has Joe in the name.
Okay, so let's talk about
sex.
Let's don't talk about sex. We've talked about sex enough.
Are we going to be barred from... We haven't seen anything that's like...
No, we haven't.
I mean, the booty balm. Lavender booty balm for the boudoir.
No, we're good so far.
We're good, okay.
So if you're in St. Paul, Minnesota, and you decide you want to go to Forepaugh Restaurant and you're just looking for ghosts, but you don't want to eat the asparagus with truffle oil and fresh lemon, then my recommendation, Big Daddy's Old Fashioned Barbecue. 625 University Avenue. The pitmasters Bob Edmond, Ron White, and Gene Sampson.
I wonder if Ron White makes a good tater salad.
They say the best barbecue in St. Paul.
And is it the only barbecue place in St. Paul?
It is not the only barbecue place.
You know, it's weird.
There's a picture of these guys, two of the three, actually. I don't know why the third one's not pictured, but two of the three are in this picture. Guys look like they can make some barbecue.
See, and that's the thing. I want a guy that's fat making me barbecue.
They look like they make barbecue.
Okay.
So just some snippets from Yelp. Amazing pork ribs, juicy, flavorful.
Oh, man.
The sides are great, but they're a little smaller on the portion size.
Yeah.
They totally make up for that, though. Apparently, they have generous rib portions. The hot barbecue is smoky, spicy, delicious, and the staff is helpful, friendly, and the restaurant is clean.
I'm ready. Let's go. I'd go to St. Paul.
I would
go there.
I don't know if I would drive just for the barbecue.
No. I would go there for, I don't know.
We actually have several other stories lined up for St. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there are a lot of hauntings in the St. Paul area.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Not anytime soon, because we've got about 33 other states.
No.
We need to get to before we come back to Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you keep talking like that?
No. I don't know. I feel like it. So we're at... God, I hate you.
Listener feedback.
You son of a bitch.
So, listener feedback.
Yep.
Anthony the truck driver's back. By the way, I think we've come to the conclusion Anthony the truck driver is from now on
Mother Trucker.
Mother Trucker.
Hi, Mother Trucker.
So, Anthony, Mother Trucker, said on our Facebook page, "Holy crap, I'm freaking out. It's Monday and I can't find the new episode. Are you guys traveling to someplace awesome, or is my podcast acting up? I've been waiting all weekend for Monday to roll around to hear the episode."
Well, here we are. Here you are.
It will be out on Monday.
On Monday.
Just not Monday morning.
It's 9:17 in the p.m. here in the great state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, but that makes it 10:17 in New York.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony. How you doing? No. Hey, Tony, how you doing? You driving a big truck? Huh? You at home? You at home waiting for the podcast, huh? Like that? No. So I guess that's a wrap.
That is a wrap. So send us your suggestions for upcoming shows.
Yeah.
Send us your picks. Harley at traveloddities.com.
But no picks.
No picks?
No beep picks.
Okay.
Even if you think it looks odd, we don't want to see your beep pics.
Yeah, when I say pics, I'm talking about your pictures of weird items found on the road. That could be bad too.
We don't want to see what happened when you stopped at the rest stop.
If you think that you are taking a picture of something that should be displayed on the Travel Oddities podcast, send us those pictures.
If you think Big Brother is interested in what you're taking pictures of, send it to us.
Right. You got a picture of a UFO?
I don't want a picture of your Big Brother's you-know-what.
If you get a picture of Bigfoot and you happen to catch his
schwanz
in the pic, we'll take a Bigfoot dick pic.
Our question of the day is: does Chewbacca have a human wang or a?
It's a dog wang.
It's a dog wang. Okay, we can say wang. People, calm down.
So, like us on Facebook at Travel Oddities Podcast. Follow us on Twitter.
Travel_oddities.
And lastly, give us a review. 5 stars on iTunes.
This is a message to Anonymous. Thank you for downloading our Skull and Bones episode 5,000 times.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
We do have a bit of an anomaly with the Skull and Bones episode. It is well over 5,000 downloads.
I can promise you there'll be rarely any podcast on that iTunes list who has 5,000 downloads.
I agree.
You would agree to that?
I would agree.
It's crazy. Anyway, well, this has been Travel Oddities. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley.
Peace.
Peace.
childhood from the